question that keeps going round in me and my circles. Why is nobody asking for UN peacekeepers? Why is no one discussing peacekeepers to protect Palestinian and Israeli children? Because Hamas are part of the problem. They are the disease. The occupation is a disease. And one of the symptoms is Hamas. And they're appalling. I condemn what happened on the 7th. But would we look the other way if a neighbouring European country was supplying the weapons that were killing our kids here in Yorkshire?
Well, it's not a neighbouring European country, but obviously the answer to your question is no, we wouldn't. Ukraine is arguably a neighbouring European country, and our support for them is obviously considerable, but still probably not enough. And the difference between sending in UN peacekeepers is it's not just a difference of perception, it's a difference of international law. So Israel are perceived as still being, even after the International Court of Justice ruling on plausible genocide, they're still perceived as being acting in self-defense because they are pursuing the people responsible, the people you've just correctly condemned, for the October the 7th atrocity. So I don't think we've got a beef here, but I think that you would have been possessed of a very negative attitude towards the current Israeli regime before October the 7th happened and indeed after. So how honestly can you answer the question of what you think this will do? Will this change how Israel is regarded? And if you're of the view already that they're an occupying force and that the imbalance in coverage and the imbalance in support from the West is egregious, could they sink any lower in your estimation, I suppose, is what I'm asking.
James, I've always been a two-state solution guy. I think, when negotiations in the past, the Oslo Accords, the awful murder of Rabin, before that, I had hope.
Right.
I had hope of a two-state solution, and I think one of the most tragic days was when Yitzhak Rabin was murdered by a far-right extremist in Israel. One of the most tragic days. Because if hawks, if nationalists, like that, if politicians can be brave and step towards peace, that gave me hope. But now, I'm in despair.
Aye.
But, James, this child, this 6-year-old Hind, she spent her whole life under brutal occupation. Now, that's not my view. The United Nations have again and again stated this is an occupation. Even our own now Foreign Secretary said it's an open air prison. Occupation leads to awful acts of violence on both sides of the divide. Now, I everybody listening, follow the Jewish Voice of Peace. And Israeli human rights organizations, they're the real brave souls, because they are marching on the streets of Israel demanding humanitarian law be observed. We must be on their side. They're the brave souls.